Hello and welcome to the 5th episode of Collaboratory, a Confluence series. My name's Emily and I'm a product manager on the Confluence Cloud team. On today's episode, we'll be discussing how to use Confluence as a source of truth knowledge base to aid in collaboration and speed. In other words, building an open company. With knowledge comes great power, and we want to help you unleash that power across your organization with some behind the scenes techniques from Atlassian. This is particularly relevant for our knowledge base admins and knowledge base content creators who are tuning in today, who want to stop dealing with out-of-date pages and who wish to reduce time spent by users to find relevant content. Let's start today by using knowledge base as a rather loose term. This can be defined here right now as a large repository of information that is living, being created, searched, and used on a day-to-day basis. Sometimes the knowledge is used to solve problems, and sometimes it's used to gain a deeper understanding for your end users. We'll be following some journeys from true users today to help demonstrate some of the features I'll be walking us through. Lara is a knowledge base owner at our company. She deals with day-to-day maintenance of the content and wants to help support users without her team spending too much time answering questions. Ed, on the other hand, is a team lead at the same company as Lara, and he's often looking for answers from Lara's team. So, what will I actually talk to you about today? We're going to cover off 6 topics: building great pages, making content easy to find, measuring the success of your content, and keeping your content up to date, as well as your users. And finally, making the knowledge base self-service. All right, let's dive in, shall we? First off, let's talk about building great pages for your knowledge base. We have a broad array of templates on hand to help build your content. The template gallery can help inspire you to include more information on your pages that you'd never thought of, or provide you with ideas as to how you can lay out information in an easy to read way. Using templates creates consistency across all of your pages, which helps end users to easily get across the knowledge and helps simplify the creation process for your knowledge base owners. Finally, these are just a jumping off point. Do you have an extra piece of information that you need to include in each of your pages? Or did you get some feedback from your users that you need more consistency in a specific area? That's no problem. Easily make your own templates to match this use case and make them readily accessible in each relevant space. Let's see how Lara's using this. She realizes that she needs to make a new page. She goes to create and she's facing the daunting task of getting started. Instead of this taking time and energy to figure out what she's going to put on the page, she goes straight to the template library. She knows that the page she's going to create is some kind of report, so she can filter the template library. She scrolls through a few options: the how-to article, the ITSM runbook, the troubleshooting article. She gets to see a little preview of each template before selecting the troubleshooting article. Okay, so now Lara's created the page and she realizes this really isn't her field of knowledge and another team would be best suited to building the article. So instead, she can simply tag individual users or the entire group of knowledge creators with a simple press of the add button. This ensures the relevant team has a notification in their inbox to let them add this page to their do list. It brings the right creators to the right content right away. Okay, content's been created, it's readily available to users. How on earth are they finding it? I'm going to tell you 3 ways that Confluence makes this easy. Let's first look at search. Confluence Search can make finding content super easy for your users. We have a smart index that helps ensure that recently visited pages are quickly accessible to the users if they need to get back. And we have lots of tricks up our sleeve to add to the experience. One of these is filters. Filters are available in both advanced and quick search for things like space. Will the page be in HR or legal, ITSM or finance? The contributor, does the user know the specific author or collaborator that would have created the page? The date it was last modified? Is it a new piece of software? Would the pages be recently updated? Or even labels, which I'll tell you about in just a minute. Okay, let's see what our users are up to. Ed is trying to organize a team trip, and he knows that there's been an internally organized initiative just for this kind of thing. When he types in the name of the group that organizes it, he can't find the right page. So he filters by the space he thinks it's in, and he also knows the content he's looking for is a page rather than a blog. So he filters by that too. Shoot, looks like he still can't find it. Let's move to the next trip up my sleeve. Users can also search using smart syntax. They can use quotation marks to get exact matches, use capitalized logical operators, so and, or not, or. Users can even add wildcards when they know the stem word was used, but not the suffix. Add a question mark for a single character and an asterisk for many. Okay, let's get back to Ed. Ed knows the trip is in Colorado and has rock climbing, so he's going to use the and logical operator. Oh my gosh, he spelled Colorado wrong, so there aren't any results. Okay, he has it right now, but the page still isn't there. He remembers that there might have been a different word used, like maybe canyoning, so he uses the or operator this time. Looks like he's finally found the page, the one to Croatia. This trip looks super interesting. So Ed's been able to find the page he's looking for. One final tip I have is that to make search super easy for users, you can add a search bar to your homepage on your space to access some predefined filters using the live search macro. I know I mentioned these before, but let's dive a little bit deeper into labels. I'm going to talk you through why labeling pages is so important in a knowledge base. First of all, labels make finding content super easy. If I know that page is about Project Alpha, but it won't necessarily have it in the title, label it. Users can look up the labels and easily find it. They can also then find all of the other pages relevant to that project with a simple click of the label. Second of all, this is a super great way to create groupings external to page trees. Are multiple departments working on a project, or do multiple departments have similar how-to articles? If you tag the pages consistently with labels, then you have an extra network of information that allows users to understand the connection despite the diverse spaces that are used to store the pages. Finally, let's talk about permissions. At Atlassian, we're big believers in being open, but sometimes the page just isn't ready yet for user consumption. Permissions are easy to use in Confluence and allow you to lock down pages while they're being created to specific users or groups. This means that no confusion occurs while the knowledge is being formatted and collated. Just don't forget to open it back up again when you're done. On the other hand, you can keep the page locked for more sensitive topics that should really only be viewed by certain users in your team. We've got our content. Users are able to find it, so how do we know whether it's working? Here's where analytics comes in for our premium users. I'm going to walk you through 4 different views of analytics that can help you answer some key questions about your content and the way users are getting access to information in your knowledge base. Let's start at the micro level of pages. We've created a page and we want to understand who's viewing it and when. Analytics provides an easy one-stop shop that lets you have a quick look at the details on the page. How's Lara using this? Lara's just recently updated that canyoning page that Ed was looking at earlier. She wants to understand who's looked at it since. This way, she also gets to see what version each of the users got to view. On top of this, she can go to the attachments tab and she's noticed that one of the images has many more views than the other. She can dig deeper into this and create more content that's similar to the popular image, so she can really kick her content off with her users. So now we understand the data that's important for us for individual pages. You want to know what pages are trending in a space to make sure the data is up to date and to highlight this information in your weekly newsletter. You also want to congratulate your most active creators in that space. Lara heads over to the space analytics to see the detail on this kind of information. She can glean some pretty useful and easy stats from the space overview page for her monthly newsletter. She can also dive further into the pages within that space. She decides to sort by last viewed to see if there are any pages she could consider archiving, which we'll talk about again in a minute. She realizes there are a bunch of pages she should be looking at to archive as they've never been viewed. Lara also notices in the user's view that Andrew DeBell has been really looking at the pages in her space. He's a member of her team that helps to distill information across the workplace. At least she knows he's getting a lot of work done. Site admins can also get a similar view from the entire Confluence instance. They can get a heartbeat for the entire site, including top spaces, most active readers, and the most popular searches. You can see details on the spaces to see which ones are performing really well so that Lara can get a better understanding of what practices they're using. Lara can also get a great view of which users are true champions of Confluence across all the spaces. Finally, you want to know what users are searching for but not finding, or what searches are super popular to send users to the right pages. Check through to the site analytics and click on the searches tab. This way, the site admin, in this case Lara, can get details on what users are searching for, the click-through rate of the search terms, and the number of users that are looking for that term. From analytics, Lara came to realize that no one's ever viewed some of her pages, or they haven't been viewed in a really, really long time. Confluence can help you keep the information in your knowledge base up to date and relevant to users in a really easy way. Confluence allows users to archive pages. This means that the information isn't really gone, and it's quick to get back through the archive pages view. This view gives details about when the page was archived and by whom it was archived to provide a bit of detail. You can also have a sneaky peek at the archive page if you suddenly remember to have that really great troubleshooting method that you forgot to move to the new page. Get rid of all of your old data to unclog the workspace. For our premium admins, you can also save a huge amount of time by bulk archiving a large set of pages that you know need to go. Not only is this super easy, but this also removes repetitive actions and makes this a quick fix for removing the junk from your knowledge base. You can also archive an entire page tree. If you've got a page tree parent just for pages you've been meaning to archive, just a few clicks of your button and you can archive those pages all at once. Don't worry though, they'll appear straight away in your archive pages section where you can restore the pages if you need to. Do you need to update your page rather than remove it? Users can super easily comment on the page to let you know that something's amiss, wrong, or needs updating. And you can tag individuals and groups to make sure the right people are keeping content up to date. Even add a deadline to make sure the content gets made super quickly and efficiently, and to help prioritize the updates based on necessity. You know your content is up to date, but how do you make sure that your users are staying on top of the newest content in your knowledge base? Here's where our home experience comes in. Content creators can easily dive back to the pages that they were working on before from the recent section of home, which is front and center. Users have quick access to their sparred spaces that they use often to speed up work. And any company-wide announcements are available to them in one space. In their newsfeed, they get a great understanding of the content that's been created recently by the people that matter to them most that they've chosen to follow. They also get to see some popular pages that are going viral internally so that they're up to date with the latest info. Home is the central hub of the knowledge base and allows users to have a jumping off point. It's a great place to start before the users navigate to the relevant spaces to get more detail. Up to this point, I've been really speaking quite generally about what a knowledge base is, about having a great abundance of knowledge available on Confluence and making it super easy to access by pretty much anyone internally. I'm going to go a little bit narrower now and talk more about the integration between Confluence and Jira Service Management, or JSM. JSM is a tool that will help your internal services team to respond to changes and deliver great value to customer and employees. Confluence is the knowledge base powerhouse behind JSM, so all your content is still in one easy to find space. So it's super important that you make the most out of this great integration. Connecting the two is as easy as writing a service email to users. In fact, it's as easy as going into JSM and connecting with a single click of the button. You can have just one connected space or multiple to get access to many different pieces of information from many different teams. You can also provide users with relevant knowledge as they need based on what their query is. Content creators can easily add information to the knowledge base through Confluence by simply creating a page within the connected JSM space. Don't forget to tag it with labels and follow any naming conventions you've determined as a team. The page is automatically available to users in the other end of JSM. Lara here notices that she's been getting a lot of queries about reaching the VPN. She can add a connected page right from JSM to get started and save time. She can also use those templates that I was talking about earlier. Okay, Lara then notices that she's still been getting a lot of queries about connecting to the printer, despite the fact that she made a page on it just last week. She goes to the page only to discover she's forgotten to add some really important information. She clicks on the edit button and it takes her straight to Confluence to fix it up. This kind of connection enables users to find the information easily in a space where they go looking for answers. This empowers users to find their own solutions through your beautiful content that you made with templates. And in turn, it frees up the capacity of your team to solve problems that are more complex and to get higher satisfaction from those who need help fast. Ed here, he's having trouble connecting to his printer. He can easily find the Confluence page that Lara literally just fixed to solve his own problem so that he doesn't need to contact her team. What a journey we have been on today. Let's quickly recap what I've walked you through. First, we talked about creating great content using templates and tagging those that are most relevant. We then discussed making your content easy to find through the wonders of search syntax, filters, and macros, alongside some great labeling practices and understanding your permissions. I walked you through the page level analytics to understand individual pieces of content, space level analytics to understand how well content is doing and who's creating the most, and site level analytics to see what spaces are the most popular. I also showed you how search analytics works to see what users are curious about. Once you had an understanding of your success metrics, we walked through keeping content up to date with archiving and easy user interaction. Then, as we kept your content up to date, so too did we discuss keeping your users up to date through the home experience that keeps them apprised of relevant pages from those they're following, as well as the popular pages from throughout your Confluence instance. Finally, we discussed how to make Confluence a self-service knowledge base for your internal services team by creating a connection between Confluence and Jira Service Management. Hopefully you've learned something new today to take with you in keeping your company open to make sure that your knowledge base is full and rich to empower your users, pushing work forwards just like Lara and Ed. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to tune in next week to learn how you can collaborate on the go with our Confluence mobile app and to find out if you're the winner of one of our raffles.